Mate, I haven't got you on here because of your profile as a coach or even as a player, I'll be honest. I'm not being horrible. We've spoken loads, and the fact that we are very good friends. But, mate, there was a big announcement this week. Share it with the masses.
Yeah, it was a big announcement. So basically, I've been asked for a couple of years to do it, but I was busy and what have you. But I've accepted the role as a patron for Stammer, which is the British Stammering Association. It's obviously something I've spoken about a fair bit over my career, really, and it's something I'm passionate about, and I want to see if I can help people.
When I was prepping to chat to you about this, it's obviously very weird me prepping to chat to you because we are very close friends. But I wanted to make sure that we did it justice, right? We got the kind of details out there that need to go out there. But I thought I'll reflect a little bit on my perspective of knowing you. So it's been nearly 20 years that I say that I've known you, loosely at the beginning. But I think where our association started was we played against each other, right? And I remember when I was playing for Leicester, but I was playing for England back then, we were talking about the good players for Scotland. And naturally your name popped up and they said, have you seen this bloke? He plays in the back row. He's got a girl's name and he's got a horrendous set of eyebrows. I'm stealing your party joke here. But one of the things was the guy's got a stammer. Have you spoke to this lad? He's got a stammer, and that's something where I get we've spoken about. But ultimately, as a young bloke, that's something that defines you, right? That's something that you kind of carried around, and you carried it around positively, and we'll get onto that. But how was it when you were younger? Because you weren't just making your way through life in any normal walk, which a lot of people have to, and it arguably could be more difficult.
It was, I'd say the sport in general, everyone in the sport has been absolutely brilliant. As you know, it's a really inclusive game, and sort of everyone, all of your teammates have probably got something that's a little bit different or what have you, and you get the odd joke. But even before that at school, I was lucky. I was never bullied. I was never bullied for it. But the big thing really, and a big sort of reason for me wanting to do this was just to raise awareness around it, because a lot of people don't understand stammering. And as you said, so when you went back, so when you were sort of nice and proud and you had the rose on your chest and you're having a great time in those days, it was a big thing. And so to say that someone's got a stammer because it was different, and that's the reason, because people don't understand it, or they maybe think it's a bit of nervousness, or they maybe think it's because the person's a little bit less intelligent, or they maybe just don't understand what is actually going on. So when someone stammers, a lot of people would stand there and be like, okay, I don't quite know what's going on here. It's just to raise awareness. It's just how some people talk, and that's just how it is. And it's something, as I said, I've had my whole life, as you know, and as we'll come on to, I've worked unbelievably hard on it. But I just want to raise a bit of understanding around it, and for people to just start to understand it's just a thing, and it's just how some people talk.
And there's a part of it where you have to educate people on that, because I think there's an element of, it could be like anything in terms of that is out of the normal, okay? That is out with what we perceive as humans as normal. So Tourette's is another one. Like you see people with Tourette's, and your natural reaction is to laugh, right? Yeah. Because of some of the stuff that they're talking about. Just give us a general oversight of what a stammer is and where it does stem from.
Yeah, it's still, no one ultimately knows exactly where it comes from or what causes it. I think so. My dad's got a stammer, so I reckon it was probably passed down to me. I think there's probably something in the brain is maybe wired a little bit differently, and I think that's probably where it starts. But then after that, if you maybe have a negative experience, I think it can make it worse over a period of time, because a lot of stammerers, as they start to be embarrassed by it, and a lot of it can be, as I said, just because people don't understand it, or they don't quite know what's actually going on. So I've been told a load of times, so if someone asks you your name, and you stammer on your name, which I have done. My name's Kelly, and then they just make a joke. Oh, you forgot your name there for a second, and I just laugh it off. And it's not someone being mean or anything like that. It's just because they don't know and they don't really understand it. But it's stuff like that, and I always try and explain to people what it's like. And it's a funny one. So the analogy I tell is, so imagine if you went into a restaurant. I mean, I think in these times, you know, I would love to go into a restaurant, but imagine if you went in and there was 4 of you and a table with 4 chairs. So where would you sit? So for probably the first 25 or 26 years of my life, I would always sit at the seat that I thought that the staff would come and stand beside, because then I could point at the menu. And so the number of times I would change my order because I couldn't say what I actually wanted to say. And it sounds like a minor thing, but to a stammerer, it can be quite a big deal.